Good morning. What's up, guys? It's our weekly stream today. Oh, look who finally decided to show up. Hold on, I just want to track myself on the channel real quick so we can see what comments are coming. Because we can't tell who's talking and who's not. All right, so today's actually going to be really, really cool. We worked out, well, me, her, I, we worked out the kinks that what we wanted to do was feature a subscriber's build and someone who's pretty active on my channel, which is pretty cool. We couldn't get that going on the first channel per se. I mean, the first live that we tried doing, it didn't work out, but last night, last minute, I worked out the kinks. So, we'll do that maybe in a couple minutes or so. Once we get a few more people in here. We have 3 people in here. If you're in here, please say hi, where you're from. Are you getting snow? The most important part, are you getting snow? Because we don't have any. It's been disgustingly and disturbingly very warm. And because there's no snow, I can't do anything with the snowblower.
I don't know if this helps everyone. Arians did, I don't know if anyone follows Arians on Instagram or Facebook, but they did a poll the other day. How many people are getting snow across the country? And by the end of the day, the poll showed, I think it was like 38% of people across the country are getting snow. So we're not alone. There's a lot of us not getting anything yet. Stop all you Debbie Downers.
She's hopeful for snow.
We are.
I'm not. I wrote off winter. I really hate snow. So, Hester, remember you commenting about the smile on my face? Well, that frown has been turned upside down. Today we are due
it's
for.
It's because of me, isn't it?
Today we have been due for lots of rain. It's gonna rain too, a lot. It's just sad. I wish it was snow because it'd be a really different story. And there is no snow projected for the week. Just cold weather. Yesterday was supposed to be cold. It was actually a really nice day.
It's funny, next weekend they showed snow all weekend and how quickly the temperature rose to about 40-something degrees and those little snowflakes turned right to rain.
Yeah. Well, the day that I shot the Supercharged Hemi video, we were supposed to get like 2 or 3 inches. And then that week, we were supposed to get 6 inches of snow. And I was ecstatic. And obviously, we've got nothing.
Do you ever think you'd be so excited for 6 inches of snow?
I know, right? Well, it's like, so it's funny, like people say when you own...
Size doesn't matter here, folks. We just want some.
Well, you know what they say, like when you own an Arians, you pray for snow, right? But I think when you just own a snowblower in general, you just want to pray for snow, no matter what it is. I mean, it really just takes the task at hand so much easier. Especially when you start doing like little things too. You put the impeller mod on it. You do like any little thing you do to the machine. It's like, I got to test this out. I want to test it out. And we did it. And I was so eager to test out the Arians that I completely missed out on other content for my channel. And I'm going to be releasing a video probably later somewhere point down the week. I obtained battery-powered 80 and 40 volt Sunjoe snowblowers. And realistically, like, I should have done an Arians video, and then I should have put those, battery-powered, ones out the door, just to see what they have. And I didn't. I blew that. I blew that one opportunity because the one that really I should have done was they have a 80 volt that's like freaking $800. An 80 volt, 24-inch snowblower. $800 plus tax. Wow. I should have done a demo video on that with an upgraded impeller, just to see. But I ended up going through the machine. I did an overview on it because ironically, they're being sold tomorrow. So, I mean, that's probably, it's kind of depressing because, I mean, those are the only machines I'm able to sell. But they're getting a really good price on them because they're battery powered. I mean, I don't think battery powered is there yet because my neighbor across the street bought their battery powered snowblower. And I mean, listen, I'm a very laid back person. I was very kind of shocked because I'm very nice to her. She's a single mom and, she has a couple of teenage kids who are not helpful.
They don't help her as much as they should.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So when she bought that, I'm like, what the? like, they dropped it off literally right in front of our house.
I mean, you should tell the viewers, he was not on that battery-powered pack equipment game at all initially. I have to be honest, in the community that we're in, it's a very eco-friendly, most of the people here do not do any of their own lawn maintenance,
Yes.
snow removal.
But they are pushing for battery power.
But they are pushing battery power, and he was not for it whatsoever. So when he started talking about buying any battery power, I had to feel his forehead and make sure that, like, a tree limb hadn't hit him, a wrench in the back of the head. And you've gotten on the game a little bit.
Battery technology is here. I mean, it's here. It's here. Is it caught up for certain things? No. Like I said, like, I still use my snowblower. That will never be replaced. And my backpack blower, maybe. My lawnmower, I would be open to it, but the problem is the battery-powered version of my lawnmower is anywhere from 10 to 15 grand. So, no thank you. Nope, not happening.
Love you now.
And, I touch upon it in, the snowblower videos. When you buy a battery-operated tool, it's really good to just don't look at that one tool that you want. Look beyond that family, right? Because if you buy a battery-powered snowblower, and then you buy a battery-powered, let's just say, weed whacker, right? Now you have extra batteries, because that seems to be the limiting factor with battery. If you run out of battery, you're not going anywhere. So the more batteries that you have, the better off that you are. See, I was new to it, so I think I probably have like 4 or 5 Cobalt 40-volt batteries, right? But we chopped down a tree at our house like 8 o'clock at night, and I think we only went through 2 batteries. And the only reason why we went through 2 batteries is I was very conservative with my cuts, because we were literally not supposed to make noise, but I was literally making little small cuts, and I was passing off the limbs to her. And then the next day during the daylight, I chopped it up, broke it up into pieces, yada, yada, yada.
And I'm not going to lie, I grew up in a house, we had like the old school chainsaw. And when he came out with the battery pack, I looked at him like, what are we doing with this? And he did it. It's gone, taken care of. That thing was amazing.
And then we trimmed the hedges, remember?
Yeah,
we trimmed the hedges in our front yard. We have the tall arborvitaes. We needed to. So arborvitaes are pretty unique species of tree. Okay, so it's when you go online, you go on YouTube. That's where you learn everything, right? That's how we found each other. Is that I wanted the trees to be a little bit thick, so I can't see my neighbors. So going online, you gotta look and say, listen, well, if you cut the top, it's gonna grow out on the bottom. Now, when we moved here, the trees were never trimmed, so they kind of looked all over the place, and I'm almost tempted to rip them out. Because,
they were being choked out.
Yeah, they grew too many leads. You're supposed to have one lead. So, I mean, we're going to work with what we have. When we trimmed them 2 years ago, we didn't trim them this year. We went top and side. So, we'll see what this year brings.
I don't know. We were a little exposed when we had to do that.
Yeah. So, look, this is Sam. This is Mr. Sandoval.
Oh, hi, Mr. Sandoval. How are you?
So
how's your tool?
Yes.
I mean, the one you won in the giveaway.
But
And speaking of giveaways, remind me, guys.
Oh, here we go, spending my money. No.
Remind me, I want to talk giveaways before we end today. My favorite holiday is coming up, the season of love. So I'm feeling like there needs to be a little giveaway happening.
Why? Why are you putting me in this position? We never spoke about this till now.
Because I know that tools come in red. And I know when there's red tools, there needs to be a giveaway. And love. What do you think, guys?
You're paying for it, not me. You're paying for it. I'm not. Nope.
Sure.
Nope.
With your money.
Wait, so you bought a still backpack blower. Needs a lot of work. And then now you want to give away more money.
Let's not get Mick upset if he's anywhere near joining this chat.
All right,
the next time I want to talk about that is when it's sold.
So Hester said I was going to put gas engines on those. So ironically, 2 years ago, the first battery-powered snowblower I saw was a guy came up the driveway, and it was an Ariens. And he wanted me to buy it, but he wanted way too much money for it. And the only thing I liked about it, and I was thinking about getting it, is it's like a little salt spreader attachment. and I just kind of threw that by the wayside. But maybe, once the supercharged Hemi is done, it'll literally be just merely an accessory. Because in my own opinion, I mean, when we do snow removal for people, we do not do salting at all. We do not. We blow your snow, we'll clear it, see you later, love you, bye, pay me, and we're out the door.
And can I just, I don't mean to interrupt, but remember a couple times we've said that to a couple clients in this area, and they've actually been 1000% okay with that. This is a heavily pet populated area, and they actually don't want the salt put down. You're going to laugh at this one, but we've seen many pets with little booties, and they don't want the paws hurt by the sand, so they've been okay with that.
Well, they have eco-friendly salt. We use, eco-friendly salt per se, but people who do salting, they were telling us, dude, just charge by the bag, and I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, then you're taking up more space in the truck, and we have a system, we're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
It works for the two of us because it is just the two of us, and we're gonna stick to that, but haven't been able to implement our system because we haven't had snow.
Can someone keep a tally of how many times he whines about no snow? I'm up to about 5. Debbie Downer next to me. You're getting a tattoo this year.
Listen, we talk about this over and over again, right? Lawn mowers, right? There's profit in lawn mowers, there's profit in backpack blowers, there's profit in weed whackers, there's profit in chainsaws, there's profit, basically in everything, right? But the profit, there is like lawn mower season, like that whole thing. You put all those in a bunch. That is a very, very slow grind for us, or for me, right? So for me, the profit I would make in selling like 2 or 3 lawn mowers, then we talk about effort too. I could sell 1 snowblower and be equivalent to that, or even end some. I'll be even ahead of that. So, I mean, the other way to do that too, as well, is start doing lawn tractors, but I just don't have the gate space, and I kind of really don't have the desire yet. But there are a lot of good deals out right now too, which kind of, sucked per se, because there's not competition. It's just regular guys selling their stuff, and there's a lot of landscapers selling a lot of really nice equipment, and I've been buying, a lot of stuff. I'm tempted to pull the trigger on a commercial grade walk behind. We'll see. I got to get some space. I think this week I'm going to put some room in the garage. If I get some room in the garage to fit this lawnmower, I think I'm going to pull the trigger on it. And it's a really nice one. It's close by. It'll definitely be good content for the channel too.
Will you be able to let it go?
Yes.
Let it go.
Yes. 110% I'll be able to let it go. Because, as you guys know, I'm a grass hole, and I love my front yard. So I run a 30-inch mower now, and I kind of cheat when I stripe to make my stripes look more plentiful. With this lawnmower, it's only going to make it, I'm going to have less stripes. Not happening.
Oh, we like
I'm going to let this go. I'm going to let this go. Unless...
You know how I feel about your stripes.
Jason, the more you say about no snow, the wife is going to expand the price of the camera. She can't do that. She can't.
How about every time he mentions no snow, I add more to the giveaway?
So anyway, this week I had to go back to work. So as far as, picking and flipping, I did a lot of picks, but I got a lot of picks that were running and driving. Like I said, there's a lot of nice equipment, so I didn't really bother posting them much. I mean, I didn't work. No, I didn't work on the supercharged Arians today. I repaired a chainsaw. That's going to be on the channel. The lawnmower. Listen, man, I appreciate all the feedback that I got on that lawnmower. I spoke to a lot of other people, and they were saying that inside the fuel tank, the Honda, there's a fuel filter. Now, because I'm so blind working on snowblowers, I kind of forgot about that. So that's going to be later down the line. I still think it's valves. So you just got to remember that that's an overhead cam engine, not an overhead valve engine, because the specs could potentially be different, and I don't want to put this machine in a worse position than it already is. So it's going to be pouring today, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it, but I really appreciate all the feedback, all the love. I hope that the engine isn't toast, but if it is, I might do a Predator swap on there.
Oh, good morning, Snobby. Where's your brother?
He's probably working. So,
Good morning, Red Oak.
That's Sam. Sam is Red Oak.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. I'm still learning like the hang names. Oh, don't puff and blow my house down.
You're blowing my house
Relax
down.
over there,
Giving away
little
stuff.
one.
Giving away stuff. So
He's over here huffing and
speaking about misplacing money, right? If that Honda engine needs a cam or anything like that, I'm just going to throw that thing to the wayside. Okay. What's going to happen is I'm probably going to end up getting a Predator swap on there. Now, I think those Predator swaps, like the last time I looked at maybe like a couple years ago, they're like $100. That is not cost efficient on a lawnmower. Unless it's a lawnmower that you love and like. This Craftsman lawnmower that I pushed, like that, I posted on there, that is not a worthy lawnmower. That's not a Snapper High Vac, okay, that would be worth it. Okay, that's not a Honda Quadra Blade, that's not worth it either. It's not a Toro Recycler, that's not worth it either, or a really nice, Lawn Boy. I mean, other than that, I can't think of, people actually put those Predators on my Time Master, okay? But just a regular renky-dank, run-of-the-mill Craftsman lawnmower, that Predator engine is not worthy. Now, I wonder, if those motors were like $50, then it's actually worth it, in my opinion, to put it on a deck, and resell it. At $100 plus, give or take a little bit, that is really not cost efficient. So if I end up going that route, that's going to be for the channel. That's going to be for you guys just to see what a Predator swap will entail.
Have some fun.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I have to measure the specs on it because if the crank's different, okay, the only reason why this lawnmower is a good candidate for it is that Predator engine needs to have a throttle cable control. And this mower has a throttle cable control. If your lawnmower doesn't have a cable throttle control, you got to buy the mower, right? You got to buy the cable throttle control. And if your blade adapter doesn't match up, you got to get a blade adapter, potentially a new blade. You see where I'm going with this? Money, 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 money. At that point, you're like me.
Sounds like you like spending it, babe.
You're like me, right? You go out and buy another lawnmower on the cheap, fix it up, do whatever you can, and then you got another lawnmower till, something, happens to it. But this one is for a flip, so we'll see. This might be content gang, getting into that territory. So let's just see. Yep, so Lucky 7 mud mowers. So there is an inline fuel filter. So last night, or no, yesterday actually, I went out, I replaced the fuel lines, and I checked to see if there's an inline filter. There isn't. Now, when I was working on that lawnmower, if you guys seen, I blew air through the fuel lines into the tank. Now, because I replaced the fuel lines, I pulled right into the tank, popped the cap off, blew air in there, and, I'm still having the same result. Like, as I said before when I think it's valves, because it backfires, at the end. I just can't find specs on an overhead cam engine. Everybody says that it's junk. Fine, that's great, I get it, but you're not helping me by saying it's junk. I need specs, I need some hardcore information.
Well, Pete keeps saying that Mick is coming across the pond, so when's that happening?
Oh yeah, so like I said, there's a lot of comments, and I didn't want to address them, but Mick says he wants to come to America. You can do
stay with us.
You can do whatever you want, right? There's a lot of guys that do this here, and there's probably one or two guys out there that they are retired, and all the really, really good deals that come up, they grab them. So little snippets we get. That's why sometimes we have to pay for equipment. It is what it is. There's nothing we could do about it. You have to spend some money to make some money. So it's just how you value your time. So I value my time up to a certain extent, but if I got nothing to do, I'm out there and I got to try and do something. Whether it's easy money or not, you always got to create opportunities.
Please remember that line when you see the bill for some of the parts we needed for that backpack blower I bought. You need to spend some money to make some money. That's all I'm going to say. That still backpack blower that I got for such a great deal needed a few parts.
So you guys will check out the channel too. I didn't know she was poking fun at me when she did this. She did like a little skit per se. So
I got some camera talent as well.
So that'll be coming down the line too. I mean, like I said, I'm probably over exaggerating that I said it needs a lot of work, but we'll see. Stay tuned for that. Hopefully, we
He
can get that
tends
going.
to weave a story.
Hopefully, we can get that going this week or next week after that. So we'll see. So anyway, so let's go. Enough about us. Let's talk about you guys per se. Let's talk about our first feature build from a subscriber.
Yay!
So his name is Thomas Andrews, and he is from New Hampshire. So we were messaging, back and forth, and like I said, we're on Instagram too. Instagram is a lot easier to do and create and post stuff compared to YouTube. There's a lot of effort. So Instagram feeds YouTube, and I tend to post a little bit more than usual on YouTube. So definitely get on Instagram, and it's just easier too, because if you guys have questions and you guys want to send me pictures and stuff like that, we can't do that through YouTube. We have to do it through Instagram. So Thomas did not have Instagram, but Thomas did sign up and send me these photos, and I've helped him out with a few things. So let's play the guessing game. So Thomas took 2 snowblowers and he made them into one. Okay, something that I wouldn't normally think to do, because they're 2 completely different snowblowers. And I know we've spoken about, and I've spoken about, how snowblowers are uniform. How they're mass produced by one company. So even though it's a different color and a different sticker, you could Frankenstein them together and really not have many issues. But these are 2 completely different snowblowers, and according to him, all he had to do was drill new mounting holes to make them together, but the belt size remained the same, which is very important. This is not his personal machine. He did this for one of his friends. So if you guys could see here, you guys could tell which one is what and which one is the other. So obviously this gray or silver, okay, is one snowblower, and the bucket is the front. And then we will do the front of the machine. So I like to fix things. I don't like to throw things away. So once we could figure out what these snowblowers are, we will most likely figure out what was the cause of death of each machine and why he mated the 2 together. So one of the snowblowers really hasn't been on my channel. When I first started, I used to go through these snowblowers a lot. They were great, quick, easy, $350. Then as I started doing my YouTube channel, coming across them kind of fizzled out. I don't know why. It's just the way it was. And the one snowblower that was very similar to it, that was a track drive machine, I ended up selling it as is. I didn't do any work to it. I didn't do anything to it. I was just in a depressed, bad mood. So let's play the guessing game. I know some of you guys don't see snowblowers. And we'll see. Let's see what we can get. So the first one is the back half is a Craftsman 522. So these are beautiful machines. Okay, if you guys see here the chute, this is all made of metal. And if you go further down the line of Craftsman snowblowers, they replace that metal chute with plastic, which is prone to crack. So that's a good upgrade to do to your snowblower. If you have this, like the short, snubby plastic chute, upgrade to this metal one, and you'll never have this problem ever again. Obviously, you cannot order them, from a brick and mortar store. They're discontinued. You're just going to have to get them secondhand through eBay or buy a machine, swap it, fix it, flip it, see you later, love you, bye. Okay? These are really, really great machines. This is a 5 horsepower Tecumseh, 22-inch clearing path. It's a 2-tone machine, but it's either like a dark gray and a light gray. Very, very nice. You can see on this machine, I ended up painting it. I put new belts on it. Really, really nice machine. Let's see, cut that there. I put new belts on it. Those are $350 all day long. 6-speed forward, 2-speed reverse. This machine was actually made by Murray. There you go. This is a better view. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. So this is a better view of the machine. You got side crank. So if you own this machine, and anything happens, this Tecumseh gets tired, a 212 Hemi Predator swap is bolt on and ready to go, as it is one crankshaft compared to a dual drive off the cam. Great, great, great machine. Parts are still readily available, very economic to own, built fantastic. The ends won't bow in. It's a very nice machine as well. So then the second mower that he used, okay, has been on my channel quite a few times. And let's see if we can get that going. There we go. So that is the front half of the snowblower. So the front half of the snowblower, that we all know, that is the glorified, I like to call that a glorified self-propelled lawnmower. It's 1 speed forward, no reverse, has a plastic gearbox. And the reason why that was a dead giveaway is you could see the chute for me. For me, I could tell it was a dead giveaway from the front. Just the chute by itself, you will only find that style chute on this economic lawnmower. Let me see. Get that picture. Yeah, see, there we go. So this is a better view of the chute. Even though this is a Craftsman and his is a Yard Machines, it's all made by MTD. You know, I could hear somebody, was it Pete, saying made to destruct. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, anything's better than blowing snow. These are great snowblowers. So right off the bat, I knew the cause of death of each machine. And maybe you guys could figure that out too. But I'm thinking, you know, for sure, the cause of death for this snowblower is the transmission. Now, to me, the transmission, it's worth replacing the transmission if it's your own personal snowblower, if you want to, if you like that type of style machine, or if you get the, you know, we sell these machines all day for $350, okay? So if I get this machine for a really fantastic price, I'll put a transmission in there for $100, no problem. It's very easy to do. I haven't had to do one yet, but I have taken the machine apart to fix others. So we could do a video on that as well. I have 2 carcasses that I wanted to put them together, and one of them was just going to be for the channel. It was going to be a new transmission, and we were going to do a Hemi Predator swap on it. So this little small one, the transmission was the cause of death. This Craftsman right here, right? The cause of death was this one, was the gearbox in the front for the auger housing, right? That was the cause of death. Okay. What software do you use for a YouTube channel? Okay, so as far as creating videos, I use iMovie, okay? There's probably better programs out there, but I don't want my videos or channel to seem gimmicky, even though I know I clickbaited you guys on the supercharged video. I'll probably never do that ever again. I don't plan it, but I'm trying to change the way the small engine community and the way people word things with snowblowers, all right? I'm not trying to, you know, when people talk about supercharging their snowblower, and I did it in the infancy of my channel too, I got suckered in by other people. Supercharging your snowblower meant modifying the impeller, right? Now I am trying to change that notion, and that pulley swap now will be supercharging your snowblower, because when you put a supercharger on your vehicle, you're increasing your RPMs per se and revolutions per minute, you know, introducing more air into the engine. In the small engine world, this pulley swap, you're increasing your speed, okay? So to me, I want to change that terminology. As of right now, I'm a one-man show, and that's fine. I will push that till the very end, okay? So that's what I want to do. That's the reason why I did that for that machine. I want to change the way snowblower and the small engine community look at the term supercharger, and we could really just think about, you know, modifying or upgrading your impeller. That's my end goal. So I use iMovie. Keep it short and simple. It's going to be about the machine, a little bit of side story about the repair, and, you know, that's it. There's going to be nothing, no crazy effects, no nothing. I mean, we have spoken about a drone, but a drone would only be footage for the lawn and for snow blowers. But we got no snow. So it's only going to have to be about the lawn. You know, we can't increase the budget because I just mentioned no snow. Not increasing the budget. So, I watch a few. Okay, yeah. So there I hooked up with the local scrapper, and he finds stuff all the time too. So where we live, I mean, I mentioned this even in some of my repair videos. We live in a throwaway society. So the reason why I clean machines after I'm done repairing them and fixing them, forget about flipping them. If you flip a machine, you better damn well near clean it. If you sell a dirty machine, shame on you. That's how I say it. Shame on you're missing out on dollars if you sell a dirty machine. But as far as repairs, right? When you clean that machine, right? The whole goal is to return that machine to them looking better and running better than they dropped it off to you. So the reason why I do that is that that's doubling down their choice to invest, that they made a good investment in picking you to repair the machine and choosing to repair the machine as well. So that also, it's like the wow factor. Like, oh great, this thing's running. Oh wow, I can't, oh this thing looks great. Nobody thinks to clean their machines or put a coat of wax on it. It's, like I said, we live in a throwaway society. Everybody values things differently. Here at Pattay's Performance, we choose to love each and every machine that walks through, the driveway / the garage. Now it sucks because we're in wintertime. Our water is off. We really can't clean much. So now I'm just giving it a quick wipe down. And, I'll tell them, listen, my water's off. I usually wash the machines. But I say, I'll put them on that. Listen, if you ever want to bring it by, leave it for me. Pick it up back by the end of the day. It'll be cleaner than you ever dropped it off before. No one has ever done that. Especially most of the machines are in the wintertime. I'm picking up for repairs. I am going to charge you for pickup and delivery if I have to wash your machine if you choose to do so. It's literally a mindless task, and anybody can do it. Really, anybody can do it. So, that's that. So, scrappers, yeah, so...
To be quite honest with you, for those who don't know his backstory, even when we first met and he was just working on cars all the time, he won't even do just an oil change on someone's car. Like if a neighbor needs an oil change, he literally, no joke, does the oil change, checks everything else like he should, but then he's vacuuming out, he's cleaning their windows, he's giving it a car wash, like they're getting their car back 10 times better than when they dropped it off. That is just always has been his way.
I lose money that way, and I guess that's a blessing in disguise why I'm trying to stream away from cars. You can go anywhere for an oil change. But, doing an oil change on your driveway sucks.
But I never got my car washed when I went for an oil change before you.
Well, you know what?
Or was that just for me?
So, growing up, there was a shop I used to just sweep floors, and I didn't work there for money. The trade-off was that they would work on my car for, free. So I'd give them labor, and then they would help me out with my car. So when your bill reached a certain amount, they would have me, vacuum the car, and for each another amount, they would have me, clean the car. So that was like a pretty good, idea. But I think Walmart, right? If you get an oil change from Walmart, don't they vacuum out your car? I don't know. Or is that Costco?
I remember once.
That's where I got that idea from.
Not anymore, at least, because I remember the one time that like how what's the old saying? It's the shoemaker's kids who go without shoes. Like there was one time that he was so backed up, and I needed an oil change so bad, and that was like years back. But like I went to Walmart, and they were just doing the oil change. They weren't doing anything above and beyond. Mm-hmm. This StreamYard,
Yes, we looked into that last night. So StreamYard, I think, was it you have to pay per month or
it was
subscribe
like a monthly
for the year.
thing. Yeah.
So we're open to that, just not at this point.
Yeah.
Especially like I said, we got the kinks worked out on this. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Like they said, the most important to do the stream was for not about us, it's for be about you guys. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are working on anything, I don't care what it is, hit me up on Instagram, send me some pictures, and we'll feature you on there. Oh, let's not forget. So Andrew also has a helper in his shop for you guys that have helpers. I don't have helpers. Okay. So when I hurt my hand, I had her work on snowblowers. This is his helper. He looks like an old man to me. He's adorable. His name is Trouble, and he's 9 years old.
Oh my god, he's so cute. Looks like he's got a little Santa beard.
That's like I said, he just looks angry.
Oh, he's probably inhaling all the fumes. Aw.
So yeah, so back and forth to that. So where were we? I just got the show. So we were talking about
But also StreamYard. You know what it is?
Yeah.
There's so many things, and I'm sure you can understand as you've seen so many different channels. There's what we thought that this started out to be when he started just videoing himself doing some repairs in the garage and out in the driveway, and when he told me he wanted to start the Instagram and the YouTube, and I thought it was great from the beginning. I'm going to support him always. But his vision is becoming bigger and bigger. I think he's got so much to give and so much to offer, and he knows that no matter what he wants to use, what equipment he needs, I 1000% back him, because there's so many endeavors that I am in right now myself that I don't speak about because this is his forum. That he would 1000% say if I need the funding or the backing to do, he would support me on. But we kind of have a timeline with this, and I say to him, if you get to this point with your channel and you want to invest in this kind of equipment, go for it. And he's driving his show right now, and whatever he wants or whatever he needs, and I support that. But he just has to tell me when he wants it and when he needs it. So
that's like another thing. So we were talking about this. Maybe I mentioned it before. So I use a GoPro to do all my videoing. And the one thing I can't stand about it, the one thing I hate, is it can't zoom. Right? So you guys can get pretty good, decent shots. So I did find a camera that I like, and it's $1,000.
And you
which
might
is not
find
a big
this
deal.
surprising, but
She said, let's do it.
I said, let's do it. Shocking,
I said, no
right?
way. I said, no way.
And you said no.
No. So I rather put money aside for a garage. That's like my whole focus right now. It's really not anything else. I mean, obviously we're putting Mandingo in the shop to get a few things done on that because, excuse me, she was saying before, like the shoemaker's kids need shoes. The mechanic's truck needs work done. And I've been kind of putting it off on hold, and now it just has to get done, especially since the Honda that you bought me needs work too.
There is nothing wrong with that thing. It just needs a little TLC, and it'll be good.
It needs head gaskets, just a little TLC head gasket.
Good to go. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
So obviously when we do that,
Weaver.
whether I think we're either gonna do the head gaskets, we're gonna do a whole new engine. Either way, the car's gonna be down for a couple days. Mandingo has a few band-aids on it. I want to get those band-aids done, so we're good to go. All right, so here's the cool thing. So Snobby, Lucky Mutts and Rose talked about StreamYard. So Snobby Scrapper, thank you for mentioning that. Okay, so what we thought, all right, maybe I just misread it. I thought that you get 20 free streams, and after 20 free streams, you have to pay. So I'm like, that's kind of like reeling you in, and then it's like once you learn how to use it, so maybe we do have to
research a little bit more.
Yeah. Because, personally, people like to stream all the time, which I think is, fantastic. We're going to stick to just a weekly stream, and, we won't hit those 20 hours at all. So definitely cool. We'll definitely look into that. Thank you so much for clearing that up for us. Maybe in the meantime, like I said, I just mastered this, per se, for what we needed to do. StreamYard, we might have to start all over again, but, watching other videos on StreamYard, they said it's very user-friendly. So the funny part was, the problem with OBS is that I was messing around with it, and I had it on public, and another subscriber of mine, a very good subscriber, Deke, not Derek W, it was like DEEK, he's from Scandinavia, and he jumped in, and I didn't know, so he was commenting, and I'm completely ignoring him, so I switched the stream from from public to private, and I didn't know how to change it back. So I finally got those kinks worked out. So that's why we're here today, and we were able to go over Thomas Andrews' build. Okay. So we're talking about, Scott Keller's in the building.
Hi, Scott. Welcome.
So, Mr. Keller, how are you? So, Honda Element is a fantastic vehicle. Honda Elements have a cult following. I have no idea about them. Because I work on the big trucks, diesel, like Scott drives. And the only vehicles I work on now are my own, so I kind of lost touch about vehicles, per se. And they're very user friendly. People go camping in them. People do door calling with them. There's just a lot of space. I'm looking at it one dimensional. I mean, when I joined an element group that's like full of fanatics, just really, really changed my mind. And like I said, we went away on vacation. As soon as we bought the Honda, she was like, "Oh, before you ruin it, this is a great road trip vehicle. We have to go on a road trip."
It was fantastic.
Because like the front windshield is like very open and you get
a panoramic view.
Yeah, it's like a very panoramic view. But it's funny, like the biggest thing I never understood is why is there a moonroof all the way in the back?
Camping, which we will not do.
We will not do. So I told her when we went away, I wanted her to drive me around so I could look out, and get a good view.
Does this look like driving Miss Daisy
So
to you?
the whole premise is all 4 seats fold down flat, and you're supposed to use it as a mattress, and you put your head towards the trunk, and that's like your skylight.
But Scott, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because when he was looking for a vehicle for his purposes, I did a ton of research, and what you're saying holds true. People were saying, even with some of the issues that he's mentioning, like the head gaskets, yes, there are some repairs, but they say those are like wear and tear over time. But these vehicles, like you're saying, 600,000 miles, I think you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I read stories of 500,000 miles. They say these cars are good to stand the test of time, and you've seen the videos where he uses it for his equipment. I mean, it was almost like it was meant to be for what he's using it for. So he can complain till the cows come home, but I think that car, paid for itself at the end of the day. So
yeah, no, that's definitely a good vehicle. I'm not done making it mine yet because I put it on hold because it needs head gaskets. So the end goal is to kind of use it more than Mandingo, which I think people think is like hysterical. Have this little Honda Element, and I'm throwing snowblowers in there. They fit. They really fit. So instead of me firing up the diesel, leaking oil all over the place, making noise, making smoke, I'll take the Honda instead because, like I said, I charge pickup and delivery. I probably could charge a little more. I mean, I did increase my hourly rate, but I didn't increase my pickup and delivery yet. I am open to it. If you're within 10 minutes, it's $25 picked up and dropped off. If after that you go into, if you're from 10 to 15 minutes away, you're at 30. I mean, I increase in file increments. Unless you're really far away, then you're talking about, I think the one guy I charged $100 and he was 40 minutes away. But still, that's beyond reasonable. Local lawnmower shops to us, they charge anywhere from $75 to $125 for pickup and delivery. And remember, we were doing snow removal. This guy wanted his snowblower.
Mm-hmm.
He paid us in the middle of our route to pick up the machine from the repair shop, and deliver it to him. And he paid, do you remember how much that was?
I want to say like 100, maybe $100, 125.
Yeah. We charged him 50.
Yeah.
And, it was half. And that's probably a very odd experience, but hey, money is money, quick and easy, and that's how we like it, really.
Mm-hmm. We have a friend in the room. Dirt. I'm gonna say your name wrong. Dirt Rider? Is that it? Dirt Rider? Am I saying it right? Hi.
Dirt Rider Dirk's KX5. So this is a dirt bike.
Oh. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm learning some of the newer names.
So
Welcome.
Scott Keller was also talking about Freightliners. We call them freight shakers because they're junk and everything rattles apart. They are basically like the low-end big diesel trucks per se. But some of the older ones are really, really nice. They're flat nose sleepers. Kind of look like Peterbilts and not kind of like they kind of copy them per se. I like those. The new ones, not so much.
And Scott Keller, we love you. Royal Purple. Anybody using anything else? No, ma'am.
Wait, what happened?
Scott Keller's a Royal Purple fan.
Oh, how do you know that?
Because he said it.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. I see that right here.
Because Scott and I talk on the side.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I missed something. So
he's learning how to read the comments.
So we love Royal Purple. And I've said this over and over again, and I'll repeat it again. I was introduced to Royal Purple by a buddy of mine, and he has a cheap motorcycle, and he was riding around in his cheap motorcycle, and next thing you know, his back wheel got squiggly. So he started, shaking. What the hell? Turns his back around, and you could just see a line of oil. His tire is covered in oil. somehow, some way, obviously, we know whose fault it is. The drain plug backed out.
Ooh.
He had no oil. So he was about 20 minutes from home, and this motorcycle wasn't worth getting a tow truck. It wasn't worth trying to have his friends come get him. He was going to ride this thing home, and whatever happened to it, happened to it. He made it home, and he's still driving it to this day. So this has been 3 years now. This thing is running strong, and that's solely because he runs. So after he told me that story, I'm like, you know what? Think about snowblowers, right? When do you use your snowblower? Especially us, we use it maybe 3 to 4 months out of a year. So think about that snowblower.
In a good year with snow.
Wait, you brought it up, not me.
I'm sorry.
You know what? We're decreasing. You said we're decreasing. We're decreasing
You walked right into
the value of the giveaway because she brought it up. Say, I like this. We can seesaw it. If I mention it, it goes up. If she mentions it, it goes down.
Sorry, guys.
Perfect. So I got to think of ways to clickbait her into.
I was waiting for you to start crying about snow again. Keep going.
So
we use about 3 or 4 months of the year.
So we use about 3 or 4 months of the year. So when you watch other videos on Royal Purple, and they run all these tests about bearing wear and how it somehow, some way, Royal Purple works its way into the molecular, structure of the metal itself inside the machine, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Because I know a lot of guys. Like me, myself, I don't read manuals. I don't. I'll figure it out. That's very terrible of me. But she bought, I didn't know this, she bought a snowblower from a guy, okay, at a garage sale. And it was a beautiful machine. And when I got there, I'm like, can you start this up? Oh, and he was like, oh, I have to put gas in. He's like, I winterize it. He was like, it's going to smoke at first. He's like, but then it's going to go away. And he says in the user manual for winter storage, right, it tells you to put the piston at top dead center, pull out the spark plug, and do a couple squirts of oil or like a WD-40 of your choice, put the spark plug back in, and leave it. And the premise of that is to stop from rust and corrosion building up in the piston. So the first time you fire it, there's nothing all over the place. So now I do that. But before I did that, what I would do is that I would have, the key out or, the throttle on stop. And I would just pull the snowblower so I could have the oil flicker flicking oil around the machine so it's not a complete dry fire. And then I fire it up for the season. So now after that, and now I tell people too on my channel, pull a spark plug out, throw some oil in there, leave it, and let it go. 5 times already, snowblower is getting used for me. All right, so Scott, so you are upstate, if I remember correctly. And I remember watching one of your videos. I'm not sure if it was when you got the snowblower from Henry or did you use it this year. But you left that thing out in the snow. You should really keep that inside. That's my pet peeve. Where did you find a woman who loves snowblowers? So let's talk about how she loves snowblowers. Let's talk about extreme. I think on Henry's channel when he videotaped my garage, right, and he was talking about how many snowblowers I have in there. I have a John Deere 1032 Tecumseh Power.
What do you mean you have a John Deere?
Okay.
He's saying he has a John Deere snowblower. I have a John Deere snowblower. Something you boys don't know about me. I have a secret obsession with John Deere. I love John Deere as much as I love Ariens. Ariens has my heart always, but there's something about John Deere. If we had the property for a John Deere tractor, boy, oh boy, would I think your tractor's sexy. So he told me we don't have the property for a John Deere tractor, but he promised me we could have a John Deere snowblower. So it's funny. I don't know if it's that I necessarily fell in love with snowblowers, but I think we're extremely competitive, you and I. I would say that's fair, right? And
Healthy
I also,
competition.
we have healthy competition.
Healthy. That's key.
And we also support the hell out of each other. So I think between the two, it was like, he's into this small engine thing. I'm gonna support that. It gives us time together. Trust me, you should see what this man does in my life for the interests that I have and like my pursuits. Things that you would never imagine he would do, because it helps make me money. It helps, my passions. So, I think at the end of the day, do I love snowblowers? I think I've grown to respect them and love them because he does. And I love the time we have together. And now it's just a whole load of fun. Like, I love finding equipment and then contacting him and being like, look what I found. Like, how many times have I sent you a picture of the trunk of my car? And he's been like, what?
Well, she was
You
like,
found what?
So she's like, like I said, healthy. She's like, if you could do it, I could do it better. Like, that's like the modern
That's
Rosie Riverdale. But realistically, so point being is, so what we do and what I do, right? I do it in my drop. Anybody could do this. So she's kind of like, well, if you could find a lawnmower at a good price, I could find a lawnmower at a good price. Plus, she knows what to look for because she's also my best sales man, woman, whatever you call them now, salesperson. She knows. She knows.
There's a fantastic picture you should post. I'll never forget. I took Mandingo out once.
Yep.
And do you remember that picture? And
I think I still
he
have
was
it.
at work. And I'll never forget, I loaded up Mandingo. I had to have a little help, but I got like the snow blower of the century.
She bought it. She found it without me knowing.
Took the truck,
bought it, and then brought it back home. Now this, I didn't know.
And then I even had like, the hair was popping that day, had my shades on, and I selfied with the snow blower. Sent it to him at work, and he was like, what the hell do you do all day when I'm not home on the weekends?
That was the only time I was completely shocked.
He was floored. Don't forget, I work full time. I'm a teacher. I teach kindergarten. So
that snowblower that she found, I gotta find a picture of it. But that snowblower that she found, you can find it quicker?
I can.
So that snowblower that she found, like, it was a Troy-Bilt Power Max 2-stage. I think it was like a 928 or an 828 or maybe 728. I have no idea. Good thing, she bought it running and driving. So it's a good thing that it didn't. Because stupid me, I don't read anything. I fired this thing up and this thing was screaming. So what the? This thing had a 2-stroke engine on it. What? I said, this is a 2-stroke on a snowblower? I'm like, oh my God. So then I took to YouTube and I'm like doing research. I'm like, oh man. And I actually ended up putting that thing up for sale in the middle of summer. And I had that thing sold in like less than 2-3 hours. And the person who I bought it from was like, you're an idiot. Like, you should have never gave this up. And I'm like, it's the wrong color. Okay. And I don't know. I don't, 2-stroke has its place. I just think it's so goddamn noisy. Maybe I sound old when I say that. I'm only 34. I just don't like it being old. It didn't really smoke. It's just loud. I mean, if I wanted loud, I would freaking hot rod the 420 Hemi on my snowblower. Pull off the intake, throw some exhaust on there. But when you start doing snow removal for people, I think you need to be a little bit courteous. I mean, you can't run in there with an open header. You know what I mean? Like that. That's gonna drive people nuts. And like I said, we'll do snow removal early in the morning till extremely late at night. There is no, because especially I talk about town noise ordinances all the time on my channel. Once snow comes, once snow comes, right? There is no more town noise ordinances. They're thrown out the window. But you really don't want to push that envelope with an open header. I mean, that's like, forget it. I mean, you're making noises already. I mean, we've done snow removal, and people have come out and they kind of give you, the WTF look, but you just literally, I really hate to say this, you just ignore them. I mean, that's the only way to do it. I mean, if you don't interact with somebody, then there is no room to, open up further dialogue that can go down, down south.
And I'll be honest with you, that's where it's been kind of nice, honestly. I hate playing, and I've said this before on another live. Like, I hate playing that female victim role, but that's where it is kind of nice being out snowblowing with him, because usually when we get a neighbor complaining about the noise when we're removing, that's where he'll kind of go back by the truck a little bit and handle like the next call.
Sorry.
And I'll finish removing because they won't give me a problem. I'll just kind of finish up the job from there.
Because I have a smart mouth and I can't shut up sometimes.
Yeah, he's a little fresh at the mouth sometimes, and I'm a little bit more diplomatic. And to be honest, who's giving a kindergarten teacher a hard time removing snow? So I'm a little bit more, calm, and we'll be out of here soon, and we're finishing up, and they're a little bit more understanding. So, but yeah, so.
No, we don't do that. I hate people when it comes down to that. They should just mind your own business. If your neighbor's doing something, mind your own business. I'm a big fan of that. They're not hurting you. They're not, shut up. It's not every day. It's snowing. Everybody needs to go someplace. It is what it is. I mean, I had a problem with my neighbor, and just to be spiteful, I started my snowblower at 3 o'clock in the morning. You want to cause a problem? I'll give you a big problem. You're lucky I didn't freaking take the muffler off and run it past the goddamn house.
We're very different.
Oh, here we go. So I'm putting the channel through. Don't mind me. I'm putting this this picture up for you guys from my wife when she got that snowblower a couple years ago. I don't mind me. So then now we do this image. Okay. And this is coming from. Hold on 1 second, guys. Application.
And Scott, I don't have a sister, actually. I have just a brother, and he's about 11 years younger than me.
It's upside down. How do we turn this upside down? Why is this upside down?
I'm dizzy.
Oh my God. We gotta fix this.
Oh, he put the picture up, but it's upside down.
So the John Deere, right? See, why is this? Okay, maybe we can
Wait a second. So Dirt Rider, you don't just have dirt bikes, you have a tractor. You have a tractor. Is it a John Deere tractor, though? There's something about, I don't know what it is. I just imagine one day some cowgirl boots on the back of a tractor.
Yeah, I don't know how to flip.
Oh, he does have a John Deere tractor, and it's awesome. Snobby, you're making all the moves here. Oh. Aw. So, Scott, you're a fan of the Cub Cadet? You think that's one of the best old school tractors?
So, if we get more property, right, before...
Wait, hold on here, pal. Wait a second. I'm talking to Dirt Rider. So, it's a John Deere 3039R. You had me at John Deere. I don't need all the numbers. Do you have a John Deere hat you wear when you're riding it? Because I'm okay with that or a cowboy hat. I don't know why. It's just what I envision. Or you can wear the John Deere hat. I'll wear the cowgirl hat. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Scott Keller says, buy her a real house and a yard and have 2 acres.
She picked this house.
I actually picked this house, Scott.
I want to get rid of it.
He wants out. Well, here's the thing. I've actually said to him, we could leave, but then we're going down south somewhere, and he won't leave and go down south. He wants to put me in some rough neighborhoods to have that kind of acreage, and I won't do it.
You know what?
So
I don't know why I can't flip this picture. I tried.
Oh, my.
But you guys can get the picture. We'll figure it out.
Oh.
I don't know how to flip it.
Why don't you just go, around? Can you go around with it?
No, it's not letting me. All right, well, anyway.
It was such a good picture. It was such a good picture.
So, if you guys look, this is a dead giveaway of a 2-stroke engine.
It's not showing.
That pyramid belt cover. That's your dead giveaway. Once you see that, you know you're in for a treat per se. And then you go on YouTube. If you get after this stream, go on YouTube, look up 2-stage 2-stroke Toro snowblower, and you can really see those things in action. So what got her going with the John Deere, right, was what happened with the John Deere is that she was on Craigslist, and what happened?
Red Oaks, yes. Maybe I'm a Texas girl at heart, and aren't you a Texas man?
So I forgot what time at night was it? What I don't even know.
Maybe I should be part of the giveaway.
She was like, I found a John Deere. And I'm like, all right. I mean, this is before we had a lot of Ariens. This is like the infancy before we started hoarding Ariens. And she was like, I found a John Deere. And I'm like, it's a 1032. I'm like, all right, that's kind of like a big machine. We always agreed that we wouldn't go bigger than a 28 or a 29.
It wasn't about the size. It was the name.
Because realistically, the goal is, like, we're going to use this, right? We don't have machines just to look at them, even though we have a lot. I mean, we just like to, oh, we'll take this one out, we'll take that one out. And it's always good to have backups. That's our excuse. That's a very poor excuse. But she's like, all right, you know what? She's like, it's $50. I'm like, all right, let's go get it. It was in New Paltz. It was actually...
Road trip.
So I'm like, yeah, I'd be kidding, right? So we took the truck. It was actually at a university. And I don't want to name the university that was out there. The story behind that was this equipment, they have equipment that was supposed to go to auction, and they forgot to put it in the auction. So they were going to throw it out. And they decided that it was just too good of a machine to throw out, and they just put it up for sale for literally, I guess you would call it, I don't know, beer money, you know? So while we went out there, you know, we bought it. The guy was really, really nice. He actually gave me a sickle bar mower that I actually passed to my father, and he got it running because he has property upstate, and to trim the brushes. That thing is dangerous. That's another reason I really don't want to sell it, because, I mean, if you guys ever seen a sickle bar mower, it's literally like a really oversized, like, hedge trimmer for the ground. And it's a really, really unique machine. I just... You know, that's the reason why I don't even do, like, go-karts. My biggest fear, because people here are very, like, oh, it's your fault. If something happens and they're knocking on my front door and they're trying to, you know, hold me responsible. Meanwhile, I didn't do anything to it. All I did is sell you the machine. And I don't trust society to rule in my favor. I don't want to go off on a tangent. So I'll just leave it off, you know, at that. And what's like, did they give me a push mower too?
They were really nice guys.
Yeah, they just loaded up
Really
the truck
nice
after
guys,
that. Gave
yeah.
me $50, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fix this up. I'm like, here, take this, take this, they take this. So, you know, the sickle bar mower needed a carburetor, and I was like, oh, you know what, I can clean this one out. And then I'm like, forget it.
Scott, are you trying to lure me upstate? So, Scott, my mother grew up in Little Falls, New York, which is, I would say, you know, about 3 hours past Kingston, a couple hours past Albany. Are you anywhere around there? They're looking for diesel mechanics. Do they need... I teach. I have to be able to teach, too.
So I work for a very big company. We are worldwide. So probably, you know what? The only way you can get into our shop is you have to sign up for a program through them. You just can't walk in off the street and say, hey, I need ABC, XYZ. Sometimes we'll do it out of the kindness of our heart because we feel like it's like a brotherhood per se. You know, nothing extreme. Listen, if you come in and your tractor's blowing smoke and something, like, listen, pal, keep going. You know, you need wiper blades, you need diesel, you need a headlight out or something, you know, something small, you know, mud flap or whatever, you know, we'll take care of it for you. Send you on your merry way. See you later, love you, bye. But anything crazy, like, listen, you know, man, I'm sorry, you know, we can't work on your tractor or truck, and, you know, you guys gonna have to go to another shop or, you know, get approval from, you know, corporate, and we'll take care of it. You know, even though you're supposed to play strictly by the rules and by the books, there's just an underwritten law in line, and, you know, we'll abide by that to a certain extent. Not enough to get us in trouble. Okay. All right, Sam, I'll see you later. I mean, yeah, we're coming up on we try and keep these streams, you know, for an hour. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see if we can get this one more time for you guys. Here's my wife upside down.
That sounds wrong.
And, you know, we'll leave it at that. So appreciate you guys coming. Hopefully stick to for the weekend and the week coming up. I'm gonna be doing some more uploads. I got the chainsaw upload coming through. I have the cordless 80-volt snowblowers, coming through the pipeline. Like I said, I really wish I should have done the demo videos on them, but it is what it is. I might hold one back. Like I said, I have extras of the single stage just to put it through its paces. Unfortunately, there are no tricks and gimmicks like I do to it to improve performance. So it is what it is.
And I think maybe my videoing skills will take a little debut at my surprise video for my husband with my still blower find. What do you think about that, guys? I had a little surprise up my sleeve when I found that still blower a couple weeks ago. So maybe that'll make its way to the channel as well this week.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, guys. As always, thank you. Have a great day, a better weekend, and I'll see you guys during the week. Later.